All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our morning market update for Monday, October the 7th. It's George Bath of Trade Pro Academy asking you, where has the time gone? All right, it's been crazy. This year's passed by really fast, and we're heading to Halloween. It's really cold here already, getting colder rather in Toronto, Canada, as you would expect. And man, time's flying. We have 3 weeks and 3 days to Halloween, October 31st. What should we dress up as? Something market themed and appropriate only. Because I don't know what you guys are going to think. All right, let's get started. First and foremost, some things over the weekend that happened. A few news items. 4:30 on Sunday. To people in Market Analysis Live, by the way, this is going to be a repeat for you because we already talked about this yesterday. 4:36, China said to have narrowed the scope for a deal with the U.S. and are signaling they are reluctant to agree to a broad trade deal pursued by Donald Trump, and is in line with comments over the summer of China saying they're going to wait for the next term for Donald Trump for the re-election to see what happens. They're going to basically wait and see at this point for another year. Donald Trump said that's not a good approach because if I win again a second time, the terms aren't going to be as favorable as they are now, and we're thinking tariffs will go up, etc. So there's a little bit of a snag. It hits the snag this conversation. We're in passe, but Chinese delegations are headed to the United States to talk later this week. So there is going to be some more progress, but that caused a little bit of fear, and that's the reason the S&P 500 futures closed here at 51 and opened up down here at 30, which is a 21-point gap. In addition to that, we had another news report out of North Korea. All right, North Korea broke off talks with the United States, saying that China, or rather U.S., totally would not give up their old viewpoint and attitude. And what else? Has disappointed us greatly and dampened their enthusiasm for negotiations by bringing nothing to the negotiation table. That's what North Korea says of the U.S. The U.S. responds, North Korea's comments do not reflect the content or spirit of over 8 hours of talks in Sweden, but they're set to resume talks again in 2 weeks. All right. So North Korea says you didn't really do anything. The United States says, I don't know what you're talking about. What happened was totally different than what you're saying. Nobody will know, but we do know this. A little bit of deterioration in relationships on both sides, and the market's feeling the pinch. All right. And other news overnight, Germany factory orders once again slump. All right. The data was in focus after a weak manufacturing number last week in the U.S. and then last month in Germany as well. The data came in by slump by 6.7% year-over-year decline in the month of August. All right, and they blamed it on the U.S.-China trade war, and in addition to that, the slowdown in the overall greater Eurozone area. So really a negative newsprint there, and two negative occurrences over the weekend. In today's markets, Japan's down 0.2%, Hong Kong's closed, so is China. India's down 0.4%. In Europe at midday, London, Paris, and Frankfurt all up 0.2% respectively. And then in the United States, Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ, all of them down 0.5% respectively. But we got a little bit of a rebound overnight on low volume. So we're going to have to see what the U.S. Open has in store for us today. A few things I want to talk about. But first, I want to tell you this. Crude oil is up 0.6% to 53.10. It's rallied since up to a high of 53.71. Gold price is down 0.4%. In fact, now down even more. The open was near the previous day's low, trading at 1502.90. We really think gold prices are headed back down to about 1460. All right, Bitcoin's up 1.1%, just holding that 8,000 marker. Okay, in today's news at 10:20, we're going to have Fed's Kashkari speaking. That's important. There's going to be some commentary made there. At 1 p.m., Jerome Powell is going to speak at the Mariner Eccles, father of the modern Federal Reserve. There isn't going to be much commentary made. He's not going to talk about monetary policy, but there will be a Q&A later this week from Jerome Powell. It's going to be significant. All right, 3 p.m., we get consumer credit, and that's the day. Not a lot of economic data. We had a lot of movement last week, and I think this week we start out a little bit slower. All right, more range-bound, slower, weaker, and lower volume. For the week, though, the week is going to be jam-packed with economic events. Okay, Jerome Powell speaks today at 1 p.m. Tuesday at 1:50, Jerome Powell speaks again. This time he's doing a Q&A. That's going to cause some volatility. He's going to take questions from the audience, and depending on how he answers, the market's going to hang on to every word. That's a big one. Wednesday, all day, there's Eurogroup meetings. There's going to be some commentary that comes out of that. That'll be movers for the European Union, primarily probably with the UK Brexit. You'll hear something there. 10:30, we also have crude oil inventories. 11 a.m., Jerome Powell speaks yet again. All right, 3 hours before the release of the FOMC meeting minutes on the same day at 2 p.m. Wednesday is going to be a big one, guys. Thursday, we get inflation readings. Over the weekend, Jerome Powell said that inflation's close, but not at the target, and they want to try to get inflation higher. All right, so CPI data is very important for that reason. That's Thursday morning at 8:30. And then Friday all day, there's ECOFIN meetings and out of Canada employment statistics. So really, the really denseness of the week happens Wednesday and Thursday. Ton of news, and before that, Monday through Tuesday, there's a lot of Jerome Powell speaking. I don't know how he manages to fit in 3 speaking engagements on a week that they have FOMC meeting minutes, but he did it. All right, that's what we're pressed up against this week. We're going to have some volatility for sure. There's going to be some movement, and everyone's wondering, do we go up or down from here? I think the bears or the sell side tries early on the week, and if we fail by Tuesday to put in a new low or to put in some drastic volume to the downside, we're going to reverse that, take equities up higher for the week, and we're going to see gold, the dollar drop. However, a lot of it depends on what happens out of the Federal Reserve. I don't know, maybe the FOMC meeting minutes are going to signal some hawkishness. And in that case, the markets are going to totally turn downwards. So this week, you just got to go day by day, manage your position, assess risk in real time, and not really wonder what's going to happen by Friday. Let's take it Monday at a time. One day at a time and Monday at a time. Today, we just trade today. Today, I do think we're going to see a little bit of downside. The prognosis for me is early morning strength on weak volume. Sell those rallies. Look for some more downside. All right, so I got for you guys. I'm going to turn it over to Steven in Atlanta, who's going to cover oil. And I send you all love, joy, and happiness. Have a great trading day. Thanks for being here. Manage your risk, trade at Trade Pro. Have a great day. Goodbye. Boxy, my man from Atlanta, East Side Cuz. You ready to rock it? Oil's open. And we are waiting for your update. So I'm going to put you on mic. Todd. Splendid. Yourself, sir? How are you doing?